Hello everyone, today we are going to see how to print the stars in diamond format. Okay, as you can see the format in the screen on the screen here. Okay, we will do this by using console application. Okay, before starting the program, we need to analyze the problem so that we can easily implement this. Okay, we can divide whole format into two parts. Okay, till here we can divide as one part and below is another part. Okay, now again we have to divide the above part into two parts. One is for printing the spaces on the screen and another is for printing the stars on the screen. Similarly, we have to divide the below part into two parts. One part is for showing the spaces or printing the spaces on the screen, and other part is to print the stars on the screen. Okay, now we have to decide the number of loops which are required to iterate and print this on the screen. Now overall we require two outer loops. One is for the above part and one outer loop for the below part. And one for the below part. Okay, now if you go to the first part, in order to print the spaces we need one inner loop that it iterates through the columns and print spaces on the screen. Okay, and we need another inner loop to print these stars. Okay. In order to print the stars we require another for loop. Similarly, we require two inner loops for the below part. One inner loop is to print the spaces in the increasing order and another inner loop for printing the stars in the decreasing order. Okay, let's start doing the program. Okay, right click on this Visual Studio icon here and then click on Visual Studio. Now go to file menu option, then click on new, then go to project, and this will open the new project template. And this new project template consists of many different templates. Based on the template you can create different type of application. If you select Windows Forms application, it will load with the Windows Forms pages and you can create Windows Forms application. But for our problem we can go with console application template. Select the console application template and give a name to your application, example 3. Okay, then click on OK. As you can see, one pop-up came on the screen. It's saying like with the same name the other application exists. Then give another name for your application. I'm giving like example 4. Then click on OK. Once you click on OK, the application will load with the default properties, assemblies and the class required. Whenever you create any console application, the application by default creates one class. The class name is program.cs. Okay, and this program.cs contains the execution point, that is static void main. Means whenever you run the console application, the execution starts from this method. Okay, now in order to print this format, we will take the user input. Okay, just print console dot write line to prompt the user to enter the number of rows. Please enter number of rows. Now in order to take the input from the user, we need to declare one variable. Okay, you can declare your variable here on the top. Int rows is equal to 0. Now assign the value from the user input. Console dot read line. This is the method to take the input from the user. As you can see, one underline is showing in the red color. This means it's a compile time error. And if you hover over the method or the line, it shows the details about that method. And this method returns string type. Okay, but we are assigning this string type to the integer type, so we have to convert this string type to int type. Hence, .NET provides with some predefined extended methods like int.parse. By using this method, you can convert string type to int type. Now you can see the red line has gone. Okay, now the user input value is in rows variable. Okay, for suppose user has given the value as 5. Now start your outer loop in order to print the first above part on the screen. Okay, start the loop by initializing the variable I with 1, I less than or equal to rows, then I plus plus. According to this value, this outer loop will iterate for 5 times. Okay, first suppose we are in the first row, means the value of I is 1. Okay, now whenever we are in the first row, we have to print 4 spaces. Okay, so start the value, initialize the variable j and assign the value like rows minus I, and then give the condition as j greater than or equal to 1 j minus minus. Okay, I will explain about this. I have initialized the value of j with rows minus I. Okay, means if the value of rows is 5 and the value of I is 1, the j value will be initialized with 4, and and this loop will be continued till the value of j becomes 1. Okay, and in order to decrease the value of j, we have to use this increment statement j minus minus. Okay, now in order to print the space on the screen, we have to write this line console dot write line and give the space inside the double quotes. Okay, now this will print the 4 spaces in the first row. Okay, and once this completes its full loop, we have to write another inner loop to print the star on the screen. Okay, declare one variable k and initialize the value of k with 1, then k less than or equal to I, then k plus plus. Here I have initialized the variable k with 1 and the condition I have given as k less than or equal to I, and I am incrementing the value of k with 1. Okay, here the k value depend on the value of I. Means if you are on the first row, this loop will iterate only one time, because k should not be greater than I. Means if the value of k is 1, the k will increment till it becomes 1. Means it will iterate only one time. If the k if the I value is 2, the k value will be the for loop will be iterated for 2 times. First it will be 1, and in the next iteration the k value becomes 2, and when the k value becomes 3, this loop will fail and it will come out of this loop. Now inside this loop we have to write the method to print the star on the screen. Okay, once it completes this 2 inner loops, we have to navigate the control to the next line. In order to navigate to the next line, just give a white line statement without any content inside. And now we can see this output on the screen. In order to hold your output window, write this line console.read key. If you write this method, the output window will be open till you press any key on the keyboard. Let's start running this application by pressing on start here. Now this output window prompts the user to enter the number of rows. For now I am giving the input as 5. Once you press enter, you will see the output. There is some problem with our code. Just go back here. Here I have given the method as white line. We don't require this method. We have to use only the white method. If you use white line method, it will print space. After printing the space, it will go to the next line. So that method is not required. Here also we don't require white line method. Okay. Because we have to print the space, 4 spaces on the first row without going to the next line. Similarly, we have to print the star on the first row without going to the next line. Okay. Now run your application. Give the input. Okay. Now you can see the output. Still there is some problem with the format. Okay, go back to your application, and after this star we need to provide one space in order to look similar to this format. Okay, so click on start, give the input value. Now you can see the expected result. Okay, till now we have achieved only the first part. Now we have to work on the second part. Okay, now we have to define one outer loop. Okay, for I is equal to 1, I less than int I is equal to 1, I less than or equal to rows minus 1, then I plus plus. If you go to the screen, now we have to start printing 4 stars only. As we have already printed the 5 stars, now we have to start printing 4 stars, then 3 stars, and 2 stars, and 1 star. Okay. Now go to your application. Now we have to print the spaces first. Okay. Int j is equal to 1, j less than or equal to I, j plus plus. I will explain that. Now write this method to print the space on the screen. Here if you observe, I have initialized the value of j with 1 and the condition is j less than or equal to I, then j plus plus. So if you see on the screen, the spaces are in the decreasing order. See, first we have to create, if you consider as if this is this is as first row, we have to print one space. If this is the second row, then we have to print 2 spaces, then 3 spaces. Like that we have to increase the number of spaces. So this space count is depend on the row number. So I have given this condition as j less than or equal to I. If the control is in the first row, it will print only 1 space. If the control is in second row, it will print 2 spaces. Okay. Hope you understand this. Now we have to write this other inner loop to print the stars in the descending order. Okay. Now I am initializing the value k with row minus I, then k greater than or equal to 1, k minus minus. I have started the k value with rows minus I. If the value of I is 5 and if the value of I is 1, then the k value will be 4. Means I am starting the value of k from 4 and decreasing till 1. When the value of k becomes 1, means it will come out of the for loop. Okay, now you can print console dot write 1 star with space. So it should look similar to our format, expected format. Okay. Now after each outer iteration, we have to take our cursor to the next line. So use this method to print a new line. Okay. Now that's it. Now we can run our application to see the expected result on the screen. For the input value as 5. Okay, this is our expected result. Okay, close this application. Now run this application and again and give the different value. Now I want a bigger format. I have given the value, input value as 10. Now you can see the expected result. This is how you can write the code to print the stars in the diamond format. Okay, hope you understand this program. Thanks for watching.